Patch Day! Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we're going to talk about the latest patch that just launched for Battlefield 5. I played it for over 3 hours and we'll be talking about what the patch fixed, what it broke, what it added, and what it balanced. Also, there's some new stuff in the armory and details as to what specifically we're getting on the 27th with Dawn and Chapter 4. Now, where to start? I think we should briefly cover the patch notes. I did sort of talk about the preview of the patch notes already in a video, so I don't want to get too in depth, but there are some new things here that you should definitely be aware of. First of all, the airplane sound bug is fixed. I didn't hear it while playing on airplane heavy maps, so it does appear that this is in fact fixed. The Pack 40 and 6-pounder stationary weapons won't auto reload when zoomed in, previously making it impossible to track your shots. The Boys AT rifle can now hold a round in the chamber, so if you reload with at least one shot left, you can now have a total of 6 shots. I know everybody was like, please make the Boys AT better. We all want that. Anyway, yeah, you get 6 shots now. Bipod mechanics are slightly changed. It's not a major overhaul. It's not something I was hoping for, but they're a little bit more responsive in terms of their deployment, undeployment mechanics. Previously, it checked for deployment viability every 0.3 seconds. Now it does it every 0.1 seconds. It does make it feel a little bit more responsive, but it's not like you're going to be able to jump on the ground quickly or go to a ledge quickly and deploy your bipod super fast. It's still going to take some time. Medical and ammo crates now both have area of effect resupply like previous Battlefield games, and they award points for doing so. Players carrying a crate are now seen carrying the crate in their soldier animation, and both crates can stick to vehicles to be used as mobile resupply options. Finally, there might be a reason to use the medical crate. I was messing around with it and it does seem like it's not too bad, although the recharge time on it is still pretty long. Still no minimap icons for medical crates or ammo crates in your immediate vicinity, and I think that's pretty much a must-have for the UI upgrade to make these items perform at their full potential. One of the better updates of this patch is that AP mines have been significantly nerfed, to the point where I actually didn't get killed by a single one the entire time I was playing this morning, though it may have been a slightly more try-hard crowd, as generally the first players in on a patch are the more dedicated players. I'll have to test it more over the next week to get a better feel for what the new AP meta is like. But basically, AP mines have a longer delay timer. They can't be placed so close together. And if you go prone when you hear it trigger, you can possibly avoid the splash damage altogether. The next really good nerf is the Piat. The one-shot kill splash has been nerfed to 0.25 meters. This means you basically have to land the explosive right next to your target to get that one-shot kill, which means it's actually going to require a bit of skill to do so. I don't think I was one-shotted by a Piat while I was testing, but again, this is going to require a bit more testing to get more knowledge about the Piat meta, but overall it's a good change. And along with the Piat, the rifle fire grenade launcher has had its max splash damage reduced from 100 to 80, so no more one-shots on full health players. And in theory now, you can maybe pick up and throw back the projectile from a rifle fire grenade, which sounds pretty cool. We'll have to test that out. The AT grenade pistol damage has been reduced from 100 to 98 for a direct shot on soldier, so it can't be used as that cheesy one-shot gun anymore unless your target has a little bit of damage done to them. Incendiary grenades have better hitboxes to represent the burn radius more accurately. Thank God for that. Hopefully DICE can also apply this to environmental factors like burning tanks or wreckage and stuff like that around the maps that catches you on fire when you're clearly outside of the fire radius. They fixed the missing reload animation for the Krag Jorgensen sniper rifle. They have also increased the consistency on soldier acceleration. I'm not 100% sure on what this means exactly. It'll require a bit more testing, but hopefully this just means the fluidity of player movement is more predictable. Players can also bleed out faster and hold on longer. So depending on what you want to do, you can either get back to the menu faster or you can hang on longer for a medic to try and get you. I think this is a great change to the game. They fixed an issue causing the end of round music to play the entire match. I got this before and it was so annoying to the fact that I just turned off all in-game music. So I don't know if this has been fixed or not because I'm not turning my music back on. Firestorm, Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode, now has weapon skins applied to the guns that you pick up. So if you've grinded for your gold weapon skins and want to show it off in Firestorm, you can, or whatever other cool weapon skins you might prefer. Also, there's a giant concrete dome on the map, and DICE has alluded to some storyline silliness around it, like it doesn't yet appear to be fully operational or something along those lines. I tried to go and test out the dome and see what it looked like, but Firestorm seems to be having server issues right now and keeps disconnecting. The one round I was able to get into, the dome was out of bounds. And since then, DICE have actually disabled matchmaking on Firestorm because of this problem, and they're working on a hotfix that they hope will be out by tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have Firestorm and you can test out the new dome at that point, but stay tuned for more information on that. When spawning vehicles into any normal game mode, you can now pick from any available vehicles rather than having to swap them out from the spawn menu. Still, vehicle spawns are in a pretty bad state right now, where players can scoop them out from under you if you take a few seconds to try and pick a different variant that you think might be more appropriate. Hopefully DICE overhauls the vehicle spawning system to be a bit more fair. Battlefield Hardline had a decent system, I don't know, copy and paste, something along those lines would be totally fine. The Frontlines game mode saw a ton of updates to pacing and map design. There's extensive patch notes on this, which I think is funny because you're never gonna see Frontlines until you get into a Grand Operations game mode and get to the Frontlines phase of that Grand Operations. So there's actually very small chance that you're going to see a lot of Frontlines gameplay, but there has been a lot of changes to it, and hopefully this actually gets applied to Frontlines if it comes back as a limited time game mode as well. I was not able to test out any Frontline changes this morning as there were no Grand Operation servers up and running. DICE also made stability improvements to the game. I'll let you know when I find any evidence of that. Speaking of which, let's talk about what was broken and or not fixed. Performance is absolute crap right now. The first few games I played were so full of stuttering and lagging, it actually feels like Battlefield 5 plays worse than it ever has before. DICE had alluded to the idea that performance around the stuttering issue would see a major improvement with this patch, but have seemingly backed out of that commitment with the patch notes. So whatever they were or are working on has yet to make things better. Some people who have never previously experienced the performance issues are now getting the dreaded stuttering with the new patch. Again, this is not an issue that everybody experiences, but if you do experience it, it is terrible and seemingly no fix is available. Other things that are broken, assignment tracking doesn't show up in the menus while in-game unless you first click away to your dailies and then back to assignments. Not a huge issue, but it's still stupid to have a broken menu that we didn't have before. Certain aircraft weapons seemingly deal 0 damage to other aircrafts and possibly all other targets. So if you're using a specific setup, I think on like the BF-109 or something like that, you may be screwed this patch. DirectX 12 and ray tracing seems to crash the game when joining a round of Firestorm. Don't worry about that because you can't even queue up for a round of Firestorm anymore. The Axis male face paint does not display on your soldiers, so if you're wondering what's going on there, it's not there, and DICE are working on a fix. There also appears to be a new Invisibility soldier skin problem. Seems very similar to what we had in-game before, making some players almost completely invisible. Currently, the community is particularly pissed off about some tank skins becoming available for company coin very briefly, but then DICE quickly removed them and stated that there are going to be Battlefield currency exclusives. Obviously, the community has a bit of a sore spot around in-game purchases for company coin and Battlefield currency, since most players would argue that there aren't that many good options for company coin alone. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. I think there's actually some pretty decent stuff you can get with company coin, and I've been spending mine like a madman, but you know, to each their own. People seem to be pretty annoyed about it. However, if you are looking to spend some company coin with this latest patch, there are 2 new collector weapon skins for the Sturmgewehr 1.5 and the Enfield sniper rifle that actually don't look half bad. It depends if you want medals hanging off the side of your gun. I think it kind of looks cool. Also, the rat burner helmet that we got in a previous Tides of War progression tree now has a whole epic set of skins to go along with it, but you have to buy it with only Battlefield currency. Personally, I don't think it looks that cool. It does seem just like a color change on previously existing skins. I wish DICE would stop doing that for the epic tier skins. Just having modded basic skins seems like sort of a cheap way to go about it. Now, as for what's coming on the 27th, Thursday this week, Al Sundan is arriving, the new map. However, Conquest will not be included yet because there's still a buggy issue with it. Instead, it will feature Squad Conquest and TDM until DICE can fix the larger mode issues. Obviously, people are going to be upset about this, and the small format modes probably don't represent the overall flow and feeling of the map quite as well. The next chapter will also begin a whole new set of weekly challenges for an unlock, plus the overall chapter progression for, again, a whole new set of unlocks and cosmetic items. Hopefully, they're really cool. There's also 2 new Elite Soldier skins coming for the Allies and the Axis factions. The Axis actually have a pretty cool looking skin for this new Elite Soldier. She looks very menacing, but it is another gas mask skin, so I don't know how many more gas masks I can take in a World War II game, but I gotta say, this skin does look pretty dope. And that wraps it up for today's patch impressions. Again, I've only played for a bit over 3 hours so far. It needs more testing, it needs more refinement. Happy with some things, disappointed that some things didn't get fixed, and of course disappointed to see new bugs, but also used to it at this point from DICE's patching history with Battlefield 5. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the new content and the new patch, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.